Awesome. I'm going to hide you, JP. Sweet. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining. Looks like we got the room piling in. This is awesome to see. Thanks, everyone, for joining us for today's webinar. AI plays to find and close more deals. Also, I got a ton of emails from everyone about, is the webinar going to be recorded? Yes, we are going to give possibly like half of the recording away to people that haven't shown up. And then, the full unedited all access
Yes,
pass recording to people that are showing up today
I like
on the
that.
webinar. You got to pay the price today to pay any price tomorrow. So the people that are investing their time, their effort, their work, appreciate all of you. Also, I'm following in the chat. I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to move the chat to a different screen so I could easily follow this. Sweet. Natalie says, are we automatically muted? Yes. Awesome. Cool. And it looks like JP. I've got my CMO JP on the line managing the chat. So we're going to let just another second or two of people piling in, and then we'll kick off. And by the way, while we're waiting, we'd love to hear in the chat, your name, title, and where you're joining us from, just so we can get an idea of the audience. So in the bottom, if you click that chat button, let us know, name, title, location. Sweet. We've got Mitch from Unilink Group. Welcome, Mitch. Thanks for taking the time. Phil from Boynton Beach, Florida. Phil, hopefully I pronounced that right. That's awesome. Hopefully it's beautiful out there. Isabel from New York. Heather,
Heather. Oh, I
Aaron.
love seeing familiar names.
Good, good. Nancy. I mean, it's blowing up. Brad, great to see you. Dave, thanks for taking the time. This is awesome. We spent a lot of the past month, everyone tuning in, working on this. And Kyle and I can't believe it. We followed each other forever, but this is actually the first live time we're meeting. Shame on me. I assume responsibility and apologize for that, Kyle. But it's awesome. And to do a quick round of intros, Kyle, why don't you give us, your intro on anything that I missed? So Kyle got into B2B tech sales like in 2013, joined Looker. I believe that was like the data analytics company that got purchased by Google.
That's right.
Okay, sweet. And you joined as the sixth employee. That's awesome.
First
Um,
SDR, grew the team to about 70 people, and then acquired 6 years later for 2.5 billion.
yeah, that sucks. I've never heard of Google, but hopefully it was a good acquisition. And they got acquired for $2.6 billion in 2019. Look, Kyle, I need you to give me the AI prompt in play to get Seamless acquired by Google for a few $1 billion. Uh,
Yeah,
he
wouldn't that be
he
nice?
Yeah, it'd be awesome. And then Kyle moved into Clari. If you heard of Clari, the revenue analytics platform for the next 5 years, helping them 8x revenue as their head of growth. Posted a shitload on LinkedIn. I'm sure you've seen it. And then now he's the CMO at Copy.ai, one of the first GTM AI platforms. I had a lot of fun using Copy when you guys just came out and have been using it ever since, on and off. So it's awesome to have you, Kyle. Thanks for joining us.
I'm so excited to be here, Brandon. It's funny that we've never been on an event together because our message history in LinkedIn is like reams and reams long, and yet here we are for the first time. So thanks for having me. Thanks to JP for coordinating. Let's get started. I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. And anyone that hasn't gotten to meet me, I'm Brandon Bornancin, the CEO of Seamless. I was selling for IBM Interactive, was put on a performance plan. It was bullshit. I was hitting my revenue goals. They didn't like that I didn't draw within the little boxes of the little AE sales role that they wanted me in. Anyways, I still had to do a lot of introspect on like, they want to do 100 million. We're on pace to do that. Why are they putting me on this performance plan? Audited all my time, realized 50% of it was wasted on list building and prospecting research. So built Seamless.ai. And now we've almost done as a company 0 to 200 million in revenue. We've helped all of our customers. We've got about 1 million different salespeople on the platform. And the reason why we're doing the webinar, the reason why we're here, the reason why we created the company is to help you win President's Club. And we created these special awards behind me. Hopefully you can see them. When you make $100,000 in sales, we ship you the 6-figure President's Club award. When you make $1 million in sales, we ship you the 7-figure President's Club. And then we've got an 8-figure award and a 9-figure award. So everything we do is to help you grow your business, make more money, and join these clubs. We've got over 23,000 six-figure club winners, 7,000 seven-figure club winners, 1,000 eight-figure club winners, and Seamless is one of the nine-figure club winners. So we want to see more companies go through these ranks, book the appointments, generate the deals, generate the revenue, and win President's Club. So thank you all for joining us. And today's presentation, AI plays to find and close more deals. Thank you. We want to see the chat light up. Everyone tuning in, thank you so much. Drop in the chat as we kind of go through these different plays, and let's interact and work together. And also, if you've got any specific questions too, drop it in the Q&A of the webinar, and Kyle and I will monitor both the chat and the Q&A to try to address any question that you've got. So this is totally unscripted, unplanned. I love it. I love that my marketing guy reached out to Kyle and said, hey, do you want to do a prep meeting? He didn't tell me, JP didn't tell me, but my number one rule with my chief of staff and executive assistant is 0 prep meetings. And Kyle's like, no, we don't need a prep meeting. So I love it. So like right off the rip, I want to hear, Kyle, your number one favorite AI play. Like out of all the plays that you could do, what's your number one favorite?
Okay, so my favorite play, Brandon, and it's funny that you say AI play, because of course we're going to use AI to do this. But as I think about things, and having been in this, student of this for a dozen plus years, and I know you're in the same boat, it's like, this is my favorite play for creating meetings. Now, the fact that we can use AI to accelerate and do this play with a bit more velocity is very important. But this wouldn't be my favorite AI play if the fundamental human-based approach to this did not work. And so what is the play? The play is you are trying to compel executives to take their money and spend it on your solution, your product, your service, whatever it is. What most salespeople get wrong is their messaging is way too low level. They're not actually connecting with the strategic initiatives that executives have inside their companies that are what people invest in. And so the play is really understanding what is the C-level at this account actually thinking about. What are they talking about? What are they posting about? And specifically, I'm going to use you as an example, Brandon. If I'm selling into Seamless, I want to make sure that Brandon is very well researched. I want to know, what are the recent interviews that he's done? What are the recent podcasts that he's been on? What are the recent posts that he has been posting on LinkedIn or whatever channel he's active on? And I happen to know he's active on LinkedIn, because I can then use those insights to understand, what does Brandon care about? He is building a sales team, expanding internationally, or they're rolling out a new product line and they're going to have to do a lot of enablement for their sales team on how to cross-sell that product, or whatever this real strategic initiative is inside that company. I want to know it, because then I can figure out the right way to connect the dots between Brandon's initiative and my value prop. And I can use that messaging, not necessarily to reach out to Brandon, and this is where the play comes in, but to reach out to other people on Brandon's team. So JP is a CMO, and I will literally say in the subject line, Brandon's interview. And I promise you, JP is going to open that email. I promise you, he's going to open the email. And if that email, I can show JP how he can help Brandon realize that strategic initiative using my technology or my service, my solution, that is how you get executive attention. That is how you create meetings with high-level people. And that is how you create this pipeline of deals that's going to be high velocity and actually turn into revenue. So that's the headline of the play. Now, the way you can do this with AI is it just like you would have done in the past in a human-based way, except you can outsource a lot of the research to AI. And I can show you if you want, but basically you can have AI look at the recent posts that Brandon is making and summarize those posts for you. You can have AI listen to the recent podcasts or read the transcripts from the recent podcasts that Brandon has been on. You can have AI do all of these things, and you can do this in a way that's hyper custom to your business. So can I steal this? Yeah, can I steal the screen from you?
Let's have you do that. Hold on.
Cool.
I'm trying to get out of this deck. How do I get out? Okay. Stop sharing. And then I think you should be good to go.
All right, sweet. So the way that I think about this is all through the lens of workflows. Like, what are the things that I always want to do for the person that I'm doing research on? So the input in my workflow is going to be Brandon's LinkedIn profile. And then I'm going to add the research steps. Oh no, I'm going to add the research steps that we just talked about. So what are his recent LinkedIn posts? And I can summarize his recent LinkedIn posts. And what are the podcast appearances that he's been on? And I can analyze those recent podcast appearances. And so step by step, I can build this workflow that codifies my process. And then what I can do is I can have the AI scrape my website to understand what is my value prop, write my value prop, and compare it to the research that we've done. And now I have the foundation for everything that I need to go and run this play at scale. I build this workflow once, and now I can use it over and over and over again for every single LinkedIn profile that I want to run this play against. That is how I think about AI plays. That was a very long answer to your question.
I love
Brandon.
it.
What's
I
your
love
reaction?
this. I love this play. I think it's awesome. Like, it reminds me when I started the Sales Secrets podcast and shit, if I was an SDRE, it doesn't matter, right? Like prospecting all these high level personas and making sure that, okay, hyper personalized to like what they're doing, what they're talking about. I feel that also when you're using the AI, integrating compliments, like someone cold calls you, every every cold call that immediately compliments me, your guard goes completely down.
100%.
So like if you want to
100%.
like if you want to prospect Kyle, I'd come right out of the gate with this type of workflow. I would in the prompt, and Kyle, think about the prompt that you would write to like write the cold email. And maybe we could share that after I show like how to get their contact info using AI.
Yeah.
But what I would do is I would compliment the prospect right away about this stuff and then go into, the one or two pain points, the something hyper personalized about them in addition to the podcast. Because every time you drop a compliment, it's going to open them up. And then you could go right into the personalized research and then go right into to the value prop.
It's such a key thing, Brandon, because like people go, like we're doing this webinar so that people will listen to us, so that people will have a high opinion of us, so that people will say, hey, love that play that you guys talked about. Thank you for that. It's like, great, that made my day. I'm going to be much more open now to reading a message from somebody who starts with that kind of thing, because it shows me that they're human, that they are actually paying attention to what we're doing, and that they're grateful for the work that we're putting out there. So I understand like if the compliment seems hollow or if it seems fake or if you can tell that they didn't actually attend the webinar or something like that, separate thing. But if you actually do the research and you actually, read the LinkedIn post and you actually come to the web, like that, it's ripe for compliment. So I think you're totally right on that, Brendan.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people also said, hey, um, sometimes when people drop compliments, it doesn't work for them. Totally cool. Like this is where A/B testing works. Like for me, I don't know why. I always love compliments, and typically any email, any cold call that comes to me with a compliment and personalized outreach, I'll respond to. If you don't love compliments, like test one script and the AI workflow using a compliment, test one without, and then like to feed these workflow tools. One of my favorite AI plays is, hey, website AI, anytime you're on any website, you could like we just showcased Kyle's Copy AI tool to take a LinkedIn URL, then research what podcasts, and then write up what to say. You're going to need their contact information, right? So one of my favorite things is if I was looking for a Kyle, I'd go to his personal website or I'd go to his website, search, this is specifically Seamless AI, get their contact information and pipe it right into, the CRM, which then feeds into workflow automation tools like Copy AI so that you could automate the outreach and you're good to go. All right.
Love this.
One of I'll share like, we'll just go back and forth with some of our favorite plays. One
Great.
of
Yeah, let's do
my
it.
one of my next favorite plays to like the personalized outreach, and hopefully it's one that a lot of our audience is leveraging now, is we noticed we've closed tens of thousands of customers, from zero to tens of thousands of customers, and we're about to surpass 200 million in revenue. We've noticed that one of our highest close rates, like our typical close rate is around 20 to 30%. We're seeing as high as 40 to 44% going after leveraging job changes, AI, job changes tracking, and AI messaging with job changes. So for whatever reason, like Kyle, when you left Clari and went to Copy, what did you go through as far as like auditing the tech, playbooks, processes? Because our data is saying within 90 days, when a leader changes jobs, it feels like almost everything changes. And I'd love to hear because you just went through this.
100%. It's the first focus, Brandon. When I started at Copy AI, I necessarily had to look through all of the strategic initiatives that the company was running and which ones need to be killed and which ones need to be added. And what are the people, processes, and technologies that support those new things that I want to do? I was hired at a C level to do strategic things that are immediate but also lasting. And people, process, and tech are the main things that I focus on. So it's an audit of all of those things. And like I said, it's killing the things that are no longer relevant and it's bringing on the things that I know personally can or should be implemented, and then making sure that we have the resources that we need to support and run those initiatives.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love the people, process, and tech you had mentioned. Anytime I'm working with any department, I have something similar. It's like DPSPP. Like I audit the data, the
Yep.
people, the processes, the playbooks, the tech, and the systems. So I've
Mm-hmm.
got like six things I try to analyze, audit, and improve. Very similar to yours. And for whatever reason, leaders like Kyle, when they change jobs, they're flying through a lot of the money. So, you could track job changes with Seamless. You could track job changes with LinkedIn. You could probably research job changes with Copy AI. And then, what you want to do is build these lists of all these leaders at your ideal customer profiles that change jobs, and then leverage prompting. Like, I don't know about you, but before AI, it would take me tens of minutes or dozens of minutes to write the messaging.
Yeah.
And now there's different prompts. Like, here's one of my favorite prompts that I want to share with you. And then I'm sure there's some workflows and prompts that Kyle's got. I would say contact name recently changed jobs from title at company to new title at new company.
Yep.
Write a hyper personalized 4 sentence email congratulating them on the job. Ask about two problems they're possibly dealing with as the new blank. Highlight an idea to fix the problem. End with a simple call to action. So I just wanted to kind of do this live with you guys. You could build, like we said, this is less about list building, automation, even though those are AI plays. Like, I would automate building the job changes and tracking the job changes list with the tools that we had mentioned. And then it's like, hey, let's build these prompts right away. So like, here's one I'm going to go through this exact same prompt. So Steve's our VP of customer success. He was the CRO at Career Builder. And are you seeing like ChatGPT up right now, Kyle?
I am. Yeah.
Perfect. So, our VP of success was the CRO Career Builder, just came to Seamless AI as the VP of customer success. Read a hyper personalized 4 sentence email congratulating them on the new job. So I just pulled up Chat GPT. We leveraged all of these tools, Copy, Chat GPT, Anthropic, Cloud, you name it. I think there's a lot of fans with Chat GPT. So I just like to show this one off. We insert the job changes prompt and let's see how it does.
It's exciting.
And I always like to double space those. I don't think it followed us on the double spacing. There we go. Easier to read. Okay, can I make it a little bigger? Someone's chatting. Let me try. JP, do you know how to zoom in, buddy? I don't know how to
You
zoom in
can
on this.
pinch in on the screen,
Yeah,
but
enter. Okay, zoom in.
it looks good on my side.
Here we go. Here we go. Awesome. So here's a simple one. Like, congrats on the new role, Steve. Congrats on the role as VP of Customer Success. Exciting times ahead as you settle in. I imagine focused on streamlining customer onboarding while also trying to improve churn for underutilized accounts. Like, that is exactly what Steve is tasked with: improve onboarding, improve customer retention, reduce churn, and he gets his really big bonus on improving onboarding, customer retention, and decreasing churn. So it just goes to show you, like, wow, this is spot on. One idea that could help is automating the personalized success journeys for each segment to drive faster adoption. So like these prompts that we're talking about, you could customize them further to you. So like, Name, recently changed job from title at company to new title at new company, period. You know, you are this salesperson at my company. You know, you're the account executive at seamless.ai. And then this would write it even more personalized. So I could say, you are the top 1% salesperson at seamless.ai. So it will customize this script completely for me trying to sell to Steve. And then I'd love to hear, Kyle, you share any workflows with like job changes that you think are awesome.
100%.
So then they just fully customize it and change it. And you could literally copy, paste, edit it, right? Like the AI, Kyle, do you agree that AI is like going to get you a hot start 50% of the way there, 70% of the way there?
That's exactly right, Brandon. And not importantly, not 100% of the way there. So it's going to do the nice research. This email is very serviceable, but it will be even better if you take 3 minutes just to edit it, make it a little bit more human, use your voice, your language, things like that. And that 3 minutes of editing beats the hell out of 30 minutes of writing from scratch. Like that's the 10x improvement that this type of thing can really help sellers do. So I love everything about this play.
So what do you think, you know, we're selling to everyone that changes jobs. What are some of your favorite workflows, Kyle? I'm going to stop sharing. What are some workflows that come to mind with like job changes?
Yeah, so job changers is probably the first workflow that I would mention is like, how do you track them? How do you actually know when somebody changes jobs? This is hard to do programmatically. I'm sure Seamless has an approach to this, Brandon, that you can speak to. AI is pretty damn good at understanding this as well. So you can have these AI workflows in the background that are reading your CRM, are comparing those contact roles to what somebody's current profile is in LinkedIn, and then alerting you when there's a mismatch between what the contact role is in your CRM and what their LinkedIn profile says. So like that's kind of a operational play that you can run using AI, but I think it's a really important one. So putting that aside for the time being and talking more about, okay, we've identified the person that's changed the role. How are we going to execute on this? The thing that I love doing is understanding who do they know that is familiar with my solution. Do we have any customer stories that match where they have been or somebody in their network is a first degree connection to? So you can ask AI, look at my customer stories, look at their first degree connections, and find if there's any overlap. So things like that are really helpful to do as well. But the main thing that I'll focus on is what I was talking about before. What are the initiatives of that person at that company? And I'll give you an example, Brendan, that's a real life example for me at this company. If you notice that I changed roles, and you're powered by Seamless, you're powered by some other solution that's identified that I moved from Clari to Copy.ai. Now the question is why? What is my mandate at this company? And you can learn that kind of thing by actually paying attention to what I'm talking about in interviews and podcasts, all things. My mandate is changing the profile of this company from a PLG freemium kind of app for copywriters to being an enterprise workflow automation type solution for like
that's the goal.
ServiceNow.
They brought you in to just take it from PLG to SLG.
Exactly.
Interesting. That's crazy.
And so when you're reaching out to me, it's great that you've identified that I've changed roles and you have the more general or templated things that matter to me as a persona, CMO. But what matters to me as a person, it's that initiative. So if you can have your AI workflows that are scanning LinkedIn posts, scanning podcast appearances, scanning those types of things, and understanding what that strategic initiative is, that's how you're going to go from that, pretty good personal email to a hyper relevant, super high resonance email with a strategic initiative that I actually care about. And if you can talk to me and tell me you're going to help convert my enterprise website traffic visitors from some strategy, or you can help me do this other thing that's going to help an enterprise audience, like you're going to get my attention. So it's that type of thing that I think is extremely important. And it takes thought. It takes thought, like any real strategy does. But once you get it right, you can run this on repeat for everybody.
I love it. I love it. And question came in through the Q&A. By the way, guys, chat to interact and engage with the community here on the webinar. And I love seeing it. Any Q&A, drop in the actual Q&A because the chats blow up and we miss it. So one question just came through. We like to engage and interact and answer these live. Is there going to be a replay? Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be a replay. We'll send it to all the attendees. And then we'll also save it in Seamless.ai Academy. So we'll save it on the Academy. We'll try to get it on YouTube as well for everyone. So that way you can kind of run through a lot of these prompts. And I would save these prompts in your templates or snippets, whatever sales engagement tool you use, save it as a snippet, and then you could reuse it. You could also save these directly in Seamless so that you can just reuse them as you research contacts and companies.
I'm going to go back in time a little bit here, Brandon, and show back to this workflow that we were talking about of how do I take Brandon's LinkedIn profile? How do I research a little bit about Seamless? And how do I generate a value prop for my company? And here's the workflow that's going to do all this. So you can see, like, you don't need to be a prompting expert necessarily to get value out of Copy AI. Like this pre-built action, if there's a lot of prompting behind the scenes, all I need to do is pull in Brandon's LinkedIn profile. So that's very easy. Same thing with analyzing recent podcast appearances. This is like 10 or 12 different prompts. You don't have to worry about that. That's already been done for you. Then we're going to scrape my webpage, generate a value prop. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take all of those LinkedIn posts for Brandon, all of the podcast appearances that we found about him, and we're going to try and connect the dots in a sales email that is going to look something like this. It's going to take in all this information and it's going to write an email in this format that you can see here. So this is like Brandon was showing the prompt in ChatGPT. This is a pre-written prompt if you're so inclined, and you can change anything you want to change about this. And the really cool thing I'm going to show, I'm going to take a little bit of a segue here, which is if you have an email that works great for you, you can use this little form. I'm going to drop it in the chat, but JP, can you share it with the audience? You can use this form, just paste your email in here, and it will deconstruct your email in a prompt type way, the way that Brandon was just showing. So then you can take your high performing emails and you can drop it into this email structure
Basically,
section.
like if you don't know how to write a prompt, hey, this email is really good. Give me the prompt so I could ask it in the future.
Exactly. So yeah, JP, if you could share that with the audience, that'd be great. I don't know how to do that in the chat. And here's what it ends up looking like. So we ran this for Brandon and we're finding all of his LinkedIn posts. Here's the recent podcasts that he's been on and other members of the exec team have been on. Here's a little value prop for my company. Here are therefore some sales angles that we could pursue when we're selling into Brandon. And then here is a version of an email that we might be able to send. And all of this, this obviously we built on the fly here and it needs a little fine tuning, but once you get this process right, now it's just a matter of importing however many LinkedIn profiles I want as a CSV, and I can run this 500 people at a time if I want to by importing a CSV. So that's, I'll share this workflow if people want to check it out. But it's that type of thing that you start to stitch together. And again, JP, if you could share that link I just shared, that'd be great. It's that type of thing when you can stitch together that level of complexity that these plays you start cooking with gas, and it's very cool.
Damn, I love it. And the next play, by the way, guys, would love to hear in the chat, how are you prospecting and leveraging AI and just outbound killer sales prospecting for job changes? Like, would love to hear about how that's been working for you. Any strategies you can share with anyone below, that'd be awesome to hear. The next one we want to go over are hot leads versus cold leads. And hot leads versus cold leads is all about buyer intent.
Yeah.
We're talking people that are mentioning on social media about your products and services. So like for Seamless, if I see someone saying like, I can't get a mobile connect, boom, that's buyer intent. I keep getting bounced emails, buyer intent. I am struggling. Maybe there's a bad review written about one of our competitors, buyer intent. Maybe it's a website visitor. That's buyer intent. And I always love going after my leads based on highest likely to close to least likely to close. The ones that express buyer intent are the ones most likely to close. So Seamless, our buyer intent AI will track every digital signal, every social signal, any online signal, and also website visitor signals. So if someone visits your website who isn't already a customer, they're going to have a high intent to buy. Maybe they just didn't like the form that you had on the website and they didn't want to fill it out. So I recommend leveraging buyer intent AI to build your lists and then leverage the right buyer intent prompts to go after them. So I wanted to share one of the ones that we use here. Hey, you are the top 1% title at company. You're prospecting anyone that visits your website. So write this could be 3 cents, 2 cents, 4 cents, 8 cents, doesn't matter. I always like to kind of provide direction. Write a 4 sentence hyper personalized email and call script to contact name, a contact title, a company. First sentence, thank them for visiting the website and something personalized about their company. Second sentence, talk about 1 to 2 pain points and problems that they're probably dealing with, which is why they reached out and visited your website in the first place. And then the third sentence, I always like to go like pain point problem and then like an idea or strategy that creates that urgency or FOMO or interest to reply. 4 sentence, include a CTA, keep it short, keep it sweet. And then I'm a big fan, kind of like LinkedIn posts, double space those damn CTAs. Because for whatever reason, the double spacing always works. So I'm going to pull back my GPT. Let's do a brand new one. We're going to type this in. So you're the top 1%. Let's just say SDR for Seamless AI. Okay. Let's just say this guy, Ryan Apps, the VP of sales at Dialpad. And all of the formulas that I'm inputting here can be automated with Seamless, with Copy, with other tools. I'm just kind of manually typing this just to show you if you were to manually do it. So there we go. We've got our prompt for buyer intent for website visitors. So let's see. Boom. Ryan, thanks so much for visiting our website. It's exciting to see the dial pad driving innovation and communication. This 1 sentence, not bad. I would try to see if like this could be improved. Maybe we don't thank them for visiting the website. We just go right into it with a hyper personalized intro about their products and services. And what I do love is this one. Like this VP of sales at Dialpad, struggling with scaling pipeline, identifying the right high intent leads. Like GPT does not know we're talking about buyer intent right now. And they're literally pitching like how awesome would it be to find high intent hot leads without overloading the sales team. So as you can see here, boom, here's the problems. Here's the idea. One idea is to use AI powered data tools like Seamless, et cetera, to service high intent prospects that are already engaging on platforms like social media. And then we could streamline that right into your CRM. So you've got your email script already written. I'd edit a little bit. Like I said, it gets you 80-20 or 70-30 of the way there. And then the call script. Typically I don't ask for 2 scripts in one prompt. I always like to go one by one. But if you're in a rush, boom, I could pick up the phone. Hey, Kyle, thanks so much for visiting the website. It's awesome to see you, man. Congrats on your success. By the way, I know you launched your own course. Super cool to see. Love everything you're doing over there at Copy.ai. Look, I know a lot of VPs like you are challenged with blank, blank, blank. And then you go into the idea. Can we set up a time to chat?
That's great.
So what I would do is I would take this and now you can launch your high buyer intent. You got the prompt, you got the list, and then you automate it all and you launch it out. So this is a great buyer intent prompt for website visitors. Anything to add, Kyle, on what you're seeing working really well for high buyer intent prospects?
Yes. So first, let me just co-sign everything that you just said, Brandon. Like it's so funny because I talked about this before, but these are the fundamental plays. Nothing has changed. Like, how long has John Barrows been talking about why now? Like that why now piece is not new to sales. Well, what you've just identified here, Brandon, is how can you actually know that now is a good time to run this play? And you're leveraging AI to execute the great fundamental play that's worked for as long as sales has been a thing. So like, I feel like a lot of people are looking for something that is super shiny and a totally new way of approaching sales. And that's not totally necessary. It's doing the traditional things really well. That's the power of this. So co-sign everything you just said there, Brandon. How I think about intent, I'm going to go, you talked about at the buyer level. I'm going to go at the account level real quick. And the way that I think about intent is, what is a company hiring for? They are taking money out of their bank account and they are making a bet on a role, on a person. And that bet is that role is going to be a profitable investment for them. So this is obviously a strategic initiative for the company, is what are they hiring for? Now, in a past life, I would try and, when I was an SDR, when I trained SDR teams, I'm sure, Brandon, you've done the same thing, monitoring where every single one of your accounts is hiring for is impossible to do manually. It's impossible, but it's very easy to do using AI. And so we can create a workflow that's going to analyze job openings. And what it's going to do is, given the domain of the company, we're going to analyze all the job openings that exist at that company. And then what we're going to do is we're going to write the prompts to look for specific mentions of keywords that we care about. So here, do any of the job listings at this company mention artificial intelligence or AI? If so, I want to know about the roles that they're hiring for that care about AI. So this is obviously specific to Copy.ai, but if a company is, let's just say, hiring a head of RevOps, and they say that that RevOps person needs to have an AI strategy, I want to know about it so that I can sell Copy.ai to them, move them way up the priority chain. Similarly, I want to know, do any of these roles mention senior go-to-market leaders? Like you were saying before, Brandon, are they hiring for a CMO? Are they hiring for a CRO? I want to know about that, because you can bet that that senior leader that they're bringing on is going to be responsible for their company's AI strategy. So this is a means of like understanding which accounts might be ripe for us to reach out to. And it's the same sort of thing here. Once you get your workflow figured out and you've, adjusted the prompts to be listening to the things that you want to listen to, now you can upload a CSV of all the accounts that you want to monitor. So maybe this is everybody in your target account list or whatever it is. You can run this every week or every day if you want to, and you can see what are these companies hiring for. So Conduit, here's everything that they're hiring for. There's no explicit mention of AI, but here are some senior go-to-market leaders that they have. Okay, great. Maybe they shouldn't be super high on my list. Let's look at Cisco, and we can see the same sort of thing here. Are they hiring for anything with AI? No, they're not. Okay, and I can go down the line and very quickly start my day by saying, here are my 30 target accounts. I know who's hiring for what, and now I can go and execute a really high quality play. That's a lot of what you just talked about, Brandon. So now we have the account level. Now we have the buyer level. We have those great prompts to write great emails, and you can really start running fast and doing some really high quality stuff with the combination of these things.
Yeah, I love it. This is awesome. And I know that there was a question that came in. Hey, do seamless users get access to buyer intent? So buyer intent is available for seamless users. It's a small upgrade. So anyone that's interested in turning on buyer intent, just drop a P in the chat and we'll make sure to get you special webinar pricing to have that search filter and that search functionality turned on. Drop a P in the chat, and John, who's leading our webinar, will make sure that we get you the link for the special pricing on buyer intent. And then also in the Q&A, anyone that is interested in any of the strategies or solutions, like if you need pricing on Copy.ai, just post it in the Q&A or the chat, and we'll make sure to follow up after the presentation. Also, another Q&A. I don't know who this was from. I'm looking at it. Thank you guys. It's awesome. I love it. Yeah, it's hot leads versus cold leads. Lila, Patrick, Amanda. I love cold outbound prospecting. Like we essentially went from 0 to 200 million in revenue from cold outbound. But anytime we could use hot leads, it's definitely starting to make us a lot of money. And another great hot lead. So Sarah asks, look alike lists. So I just closed a big deal with a customer. Sarah from Oakland says, I want to do lookalike. So luckily, you must have read my mind. We've got a thing on similar companies or lookalike audience AI. And what this means is you close a big company, Nike. Okay. Who are all the companies that look like Nike? So like for Seamless AI, if we helped, and Nike's a bad one, let's just say we helped Adobe increase their appointments by, instead of 2 appointments a week, they went to 4 appointments a week. So we doubled their appointments and we increased their sales by 30%. I'd be like, man, if we could do that for Adobe, I bet you we could do that for all these other companies that look like Adobe. So similar companies and lookalike audiences allow you to do super targeted prospecting with industries and companies just like your best fit companies. And you can do customized outreach, competitive analysis, positioning, case studies, you name it. And you could you just use the search filters and build the similar companies and lookalike audiences, leveraging Seamless AI. You could also do this in LinkedIn. You could do it on Google. You could probably ask Copy AI. So what you're going to want to do is build that list, input it, get the list, and then it's all about messaging. So like, here's one. If you're going after, Reebok or whatever, we just showed a quick example of Nike shoes. So to do the prompt, you're, let's just make sure. Okay, here we go. You're a top title at company. I always like to teach the AI who I am and what I'm doing. You could also, oh, looks like we lost power here.
You're good. We can hear you.
Yep, we got you.
Okay, cool. My computer just restarted here. So I forget where I was at, but hold on. What you want to do, sorry guys, my whole computer just swapped. Like all the monitors just went out. Give me 1 second.
I can jump into another use case if you want, Brandon.
Do it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So with the webinar, we talked about creating, but also closing deals. So I want to get into like more mid-funnel type use cases for AI. And one of my favorite things is getting analysis, like objective, non-biased analysis from AI about how are my calls going. So yes, I am the CMO, but I've been carrying a quota for the last 4 months, jumping into sales calls, running my own things, and understanding how those deals are going is really helpful to have these AI workflows. And so that's what this workflow is going to do. It's going to generate deal insights based on a call transcript that we drop in. So the input to this workflow is just the transcript. And then we're going to ask the AI to go do a bunch of things, summarize that main call, understand the use cases that were presented, understand if any competitors were mentioned, who are the people that were mentioned on the call that we need to understand and know about, any questions that were asked. We can make sure that we're answering those questions. We can just get all of these different insights. What were the things that really wowed them during the demo? And then basically have the AI understand of the use cases that we presented, what were they most interested in? What are the next steps? And then let's have it draft a follow-up email. So you can see that I ran this for a couple of our transcripts. And you can see that of the sales calls that I've been on, that's me and Nathan. And here is all the information that I get out of this. So I can get a really good understanding of what were they really wowed by, what were the use cases that we talked about, and what was their level of interest on those use cases, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, et cetera. And what are potential next steps? And then here's a potential follow-up email that we can send. So all of this starts to become a lot more, again, it's still, as we talked about before, it still needs human attention. Like I need to read and review this email before I send it, but it's really like so fast to get this type of insight so that you can keep your deals running. And you can do this for discovery calls as an SDR. Obviously, you can do this for real sales calls or full sales calls as an AE. Like whatever it is, you can get a ton of context from the calls that you're on by using workflows like this that stitch together all of these different prompts that you need to run. So I can share this with y'all if you want to check it out and give it a try. All you need to do is copy paste in a transcript and you'll get all of that rich information. So there you go. I know there's a bit of an aside, Brandon, of what you're talking about, but I think it's really important that we use AI across the full sales funnel and not just at the top of the funnel.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. And I'm going to share the screen again. That workflow is epic. I don't know why this thing went out, but I apologize about that. We'll dive right in. On the similar companies prompt, which we were covering.
Yep.
So let me go to SlideShare mode. You're a top blanket company, prospecting companies who fit your ideal client profile, right? Because you're building similar lookalikes, you're building lookalike companies that are your best fit. I always like to use 4 sentences. You could do whatever you want. You don't even need to tell it the amount of sentences. I just like that approach. Mention how you work with companies just like them in their industry and have increased whatever your value prop is, right? For Seamless, we help you automate prospecting, booking appointments, closing sales, right? So you're going to want to input whatever value proposition works best for you. And then, second sentence, come up with 2 solutions you provided your customers and relate them to the problems that they're likely facing with similar clients. So let's grab this prompt and run it. in GPT. So we'll pull up ChatGPT. All right, we got the prompt. So I'm going to say I'm an account executive. Again, this is specific to Seamless. You can make it for whatever. I mean, I could change the company. And let's just say that the similar company was, John Smith, SDR at Adobe. And the whole point is to give you these copy and paste scripts, these workflows, so that you can just sprint. You could just run on this deal. And I forget, JP, how do I zoom in here? Zoom in, there we go. So it just gives you everything. Like, hey, work with companies like Adobe, tell best DRs blank, blank. And then I would add in here the actual case studies, right? Like I would include the very specific customers just like Adobe in this message, and then go right into the deal on how you help them and the problems that you solve and the solutions you offer. And lookalikes of your best fit customers are like, I would call them medium hot prospecting leads. The highest are people that are filling out your lead form, that are visiting your website, that are talking online, high buyer intent, that they need your products and services. The next best are you have this amazing case study and you know everything about that customer. Go and sell to companies just like that customer who have those problems, who have those pain points, who have those needs, and use the workflow, that I shared with you how to build the list that Kyle put together with Copy AI, and you're good to go.
The velocity is incredible. And that's what this is all about, Brandon. Like these are the building blocks, these prompts, these workflows, these are the building blocks for high degrees of high quality execution. And it's up to you to actually use these. It's up to you to dive in and to learn. As believe it or not, or like it or not, your sales leadership is not always going to be the one that's giving you this technology, that's giving you these trainings. So I think there's a lot of individual AEs, individual SDRs on the call, like lean into this technology. You are going to sprint past the competition. And this technology has been around for the AI, has been around for what, 18, 24 months at this point? And
Yes.
what percent of people do you think are actually doing this stuff right now, Brandon? Like 5%?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the tricky part is I hang out with so many people that use it because they're just always trying to get an edge, but probably, yeah, a few percentage points, a handful of percents. Like you got to be excited about the new tech. You got to be excited about leveraging these AI plays to just automate a lot of your workflow.
Competitive advantage. That's what it's all about. Competitive advantage. And importantly, it's because you're going to end up creating a better buying experience and customer experience for the people that you reach out to. That is how great salespeople are built. That is what they care most about. And that's what these AI workflows ultimately, and these prompts, they ultimately end up helping you do, is create a more relevant, better buying and customer experience.
The next big one, yeah, I 1000% agree. The next one that Kyle and I always talk about is funding.
Yeah.
Funding AI. Like, here's why. So when you're fundraising, I don't know if a lot of you know this or not. I've almost raised 100 million in funding for Seamless. When you fundraise, an investor looks at your company and says, "We believe in the company. We want to help give you a lot of money to put to work so that you could 3 to 5x the value of the company." The smaller rounds, like a pre-seed round and a seed round, they need you to 10x the company, 20x the company. At a Series A, they need you to 3 to 5x the company. Series B, 3 to 5x the company. Growth equity, 3 to 5x the company. So, like our last round where we raised almost $75-ish million, and then another $10 to $15 million in venture debt, was we're going to give you all this money. You need to grow the company 3 to 5x over the next 3 to 5 years. And that was the goal. And we took that money and then we have to like spend it. They're like, you got to hire in sales. You got to hire in marketing. You got to grow in customer success. You got to grow in operations. You got to grow in all of these different departments. So you literally have to use all of this capital to spend it on technology and people very quickly. So like some of the top funding AI and tracking and list building that I love Crunchbase. They're a competitor of Seamless because we provide funding data, but I believe like everyone needs to use multiple sources of automation tools, right? So I put down Crunchbase. That's a great source. You could build fundraising companies in Seamless, build that list there of Series A, B, C, D, whatever it is, and then you want to leverage the right prompts to go after these companies. So here's an AI prompt that I put together. And Kyle, I don't know while I'm teaching this, if you've got any AI workflows for fundraising that you could put together real quick on the spot. But here's a prompt that I like. You're a top 1% direct mail copywriter, which means like we're trying to get a response quickly. Hire to get companies that just raised insert round, right? So I would do that, just raised a Series A to book a demo with you. Write a 4-sentence email to the company name who just raised their insert series number following this type. Congrats and hyper personalize the compliment about their product. Identify a few pain points. Recommend an idea to solve the pain point. End with the simple, clear to action. You want to create the urgency, the FOMO, the interest from the prospect so that that person who just raised the round and is probably getting hit by a bunch of people responds to you versus other people. So I'm going to copy this prompt real quick, and I'm going to see if we can paste it into the GPT. All right.
Yeah, I love this. And the problem with most of the outreach that I get after a funding round, and Brandon, I'm sure you've been there as well, is most of the outreach sucks. It's a salesperson that basically just says, hey, saw you raise a bunch of money. Here's my company, want to buy it? And it's like, no, that's not useful. Like, you need to read the press release that accompanies the funding announcement and understand why did they raise the money. Like Brandon just said, it's so that they can 3 to 5x the value of the company in some way. And you need to attach to those initiatives as best you can. So I love the way that you're doing this. I think it's going to spit out some pretty good results.
And here's Opus Clips. So this is like an AI video editing tool. They just raised a 30 million Series A. And what's cool is if you don't know who fundraised, use Seamless, use LinkedIn, use Crunchbase, use the data to get it. And then guess what? You can even ask GPT, who are the top 30 companies that just raised a Series A round of funding? They'll give you the list. And then you could type in this prompt. Boom. An idea to amplify Opus Clips impact after Series A. This is awesome. Hey, blank. First off, like I love the intro here, Kyle. Congrats on your Series A, but they don't obsess over the funding round.
Right.
Because what Kyle just mentioned is like, we get a lot of emails that say, congrats on your round. I want all your money, essentially.
Exactly.
And this is like, look, this is awesome. This is a huge accomplishment. Congrats on your Series A. Like, I'm personally a fan of their platform. We use it in marketing. I'm a big fan of your platform. What you're doing to revolutionize short form video creation with AI is next level. Love that intro there. I know 2 key challenges in the creator economy are scaling video production without losing quality and keep up with rapid content demand. What if you could automate outreach to top creators and brands using AI-driven data to fuel your growth and partnerships? Open a quick chat. And like I would kill this. Like the only thing that I would criticize here is this is a pretty long CTA.
Yeah.
Open to a quick chat to learn more ? And that way, like, okay, Opus Clips is trying to get their AI video editing tool in front of anyone that's creating content, for like an example of Seamless. Hey, what if we could automate your list building and outreach and prospecting to these creators? Open a quick chat to learn more. Boom. Simple, light. You copy the ASAT, you put in your sales engagement tool, you're off to the races there. And that's where this funding prompt comes into play. Any other ideas with funding or workflows with funding that come to mind for you, Kyle?
I think you hit on it exactly, Brandon. Like, this is the exact right way to do it. What I will emphasize is the importance of casting a wide net when you're doing any sort of outreach. Again, these are the fundamental principles. This hasn't changed. If you're single threaded and you're only trying to get to that CMO, it's probably going to be less successful than if you're also trying to reach out to the VPs and the directors and the marketing managers and everybody on that team with a unique and different approach that's going to be persona based, or value prop that's going to be persona based. So the only addition that I would have to what you just showed, Brandon, is if you can add a little bit of a prompt into what is the persona that you're reaching out to, and make sure that you have, a somewhat different or slightly different message for all those different people that you're going to be canvassing. That's how you can use AI to take a great email and do that little bit of translation for all those different personas that you're engaging with.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. And then we're going to get into some really crazy shit, guys. For those tuning in, I seem like the best for last.
Yeah, I'm excited now.
Because people, people who hang in there and put in the work deserve to get rewarded. So when I was training our team, we've got about 150 salespeople. And this is one of my favorite prompts to use for pitch prep. This is one of my favorite prompts to use for sales training. And then also by the end, guys, we're going to answer questions and we're going to engage with, hopefully doing any Q&A that you've got. But contact research for pitch prep, for outreach, and then also just to learn about the personas that you sell to. You can have these amazing contact and company research prompts put together. We use this all the time. Like anytime that an A books a demo, we will use this prompt. And this is how it goes. Look, you're a top 1% contact research expert doing research on blank and blank and blank. Please research all of the following below and write up to 5 bullets. So I haven't tested this in a while because once we kind of discovered it, we ran with it. So
That's so good.
I'm going to just do this like, you're the top. Okay. Oh yeah. We got to say, so here's the problem with the prompt. I didn't say for who. Did I copy the right one? Okay, sweet. Boom. Doing this live. Include up to 5 bullets for each. Oh, this is the company one. I didn't mean that one. Contact research. That's what I want. There we go. Okay, so let's just do, honestly, like Kyle, give me anyone. Who comes to mind? Name, title, company.
Let's do it on me. Can we do it on me?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it on Kyle. I'll CMO at Copy.ai. I want to see what it says about Denver. Is that going to pull in my hometown?
I don't know, maybe.
We'll see. I saw it. Yeah, it was down at the bottom of Contact City. We'll see.
Yeah, so the things that it's researching, right? What is the business case for a company to use my company? Tell me everything you know about the person in a 1-page pitch brief. What are the top goals? What are the top KPIs, job requirements, pain points, symptoms of the problem? So this is really good. Like asking what are the pain points and problems that Kyle has as the CMO?
Yeah.
And then what are the reasons for those? Like what causes those problems? Because if you understand like the symptom to the problem, you could help solve it and diagnose it right away, right? Okay, so business case for Copy AI to use seamless AI. It's going to give me like the 5 things that I should focus on. Like if I pitch Kyle, I got to be focused on lead gen, automated contact research, expanding market. So it gives you like the top 5 things to pitch. And then it gives me the executive brief for Kyle. Hey, he's the CMO leader. Like I could have probably used this as your podcast intro, Kyle.
Yeah.
Now I know real quick. Like, could you imagine like before you go to a meeting, you run this prompt, you save it, in like your calendar invite like 10 minutes before. So you just know to review it. Okay, I've got everything I need to know about Kyle. Top goals. Let's see if this is true, Kyle. Demand gen, increase market share, improve customer acquisition costs, drive brand awareness, increase partnerships. Does that sound
great? It's great.
Awesome.
I love that CAC is the first KPI, and it's like that's so good.
Is that spot on?
It's spot on because like at a C level, we care about executive level company-wide metrics. And yeah, I care about MQLs, and I care about that, but I care the most about operating efficiently. And that's what customer acquisition cost is all about. So this is great.
I love it. And guys in the chat, everyone tuning in the chat, let me know what you think about this crazy contact research prompt. Job requirements. He's got to lead the marketing strategy. He's got to do the decision making. He's got to do team development, cross-functional collaboration, brand building. It's awesome. This is super helpful. Great prompt. Cool. Awesome. Amazing. Great. Yeah, I want this to be actionable. We literally came on here. We're not selling anything. We want to give you everything you need so that you can win President's Club, maximize sales, increase revenue. So I'm hoping that when you leave here, this will give you everything you need to be ultra successful. Goals, desires, and dreams of CMO at Copy.ai. This is cool. Industry
That's good.
leadership, growth, innovation, team empowerment makes sense.
It's
And
great.
then pain points, lead quality, so it gives you like, what are all the pain points and problem Kyle's probably facing? He talks about those customer acquisition cost. He's trying to scale. Where this doesn't give, like, this gives you a lot of problems and pain points. Kyle just said, I'm trying to go from product-led growth to sales-led growth. That would be tough to find out with this prompt, but that's where, like, you do sales discovery in a meeting. You look at any online recordings, podcasts, things like that, where he may have said that, and you could get a way deeper level there.
100%.
Symptoms of the problems. Reporting structure. This is pretty cool. So it will tell you like the org chart of who reports into Kyle. You got your director of demand gen. So these are all the people that you're going to want to prospect, because these are going to be users, influencers, decision makers on the buying committee. And then it kind of gives you a recommended personality, work history, personal interests, hobbies, top sports teams. Okay. Huh. Oh, they're saying
Oh, we didn't add it. We didn't add it into the
we would
prompt.
need to know where you live.
Yeah.
Got it. That's funny. So, seamless research is the location. If we had that, it would tell you top sports teams and fun facts. I like that because it's like, hey, did you see, I'm from Columbus, Ohio. Hey, did you see the Buckeyes? Man, I can't believe they lost by 1 point to Oregon. It's awesome that they're still ranked number 4. I hope you get to go to the national championship. Like, boom. Okay, now you've created this rapport with me about my favorite sports team, you name it. So that's a contact research prompt that I love to use pre-pitch, pre-demo. You could even use it like before you prospect, you name it. What's another like workflow, Kyle? I'm going to give the floor back over to you. What's another favorite workflow that you've got for anything, an AI play? And then we'll go into the next one.
Yeah, I mean, the meeting prep that you have is incredible. So I would say, like, to the extent that you can automate this, and what we have, and I'm sure that Seamless and Copy.ai could work together. I feel like our product teams need to meet up, Brandon, because there's so much complementary stuff here. We can get the email addresses from the calendar event, and we can automate the triggering of the workflow to run the prompt essentially that you just ran to do meeting prep, and then deliver that in a Slack channel or via email or something like that. So I would say, like, I'm not going to talk about a new use case or a new workflow. I'm going to talk about the fact that you can and should be doing what you can to automate and integrate these types of things into your existing systems, so that you don't have to be the one that's always doing, the one-off prompting every single time. That's the power of having purpose-built solutions like Seamless, like Copy, is that you can really start to like have your current workflows augmented by AI in an ongoing way. So I know we're at time. I've actually got to bounce, Brandon. So I don't know if you want to keep flowing with the use cases, but this
Kyle's got to run. Kyle, where can I'll continue to give you some of the extra plays that we had since we lost a few minutes since my computer went out. Kyle, where can people connect with you, learn from you for more?
Yeah, follow me on LinkedIn. I'm just Kyle Coleman on LinkedIn. And if you want to learn more about Copy.ai, it is copy.ai. So Brandon, this has been awesome. Thank you so much. I learned a ton.
Great having you. And we're going to go over more plays. Everyone drop a thank you, Kyle, in the chat. Really appreciate you, man. I've got like 5 to 7 more plays I'm going to share with you. Thank you, Kyle, for sharing.
Another event.
Yeah, if I get 200 people on a webinar, I'm going to give them everything I got. And I'm going to skip my lunch meeting. So here we go, guys. We're going to jump in. Thank you, Kyle. We appreciate you.
See ya.
Even though my computer went out, and I've only got 1 monitor versus my 7, we're just going to freaking dive right in and keep going. So contact research, one of my favorites. Company research. You could do the same type of company research that we just did with contact research to know everything about the company. So let's just say you're an AE. Let's just say you're a CEO or a C-suite, VP, director, anyone that's pitching anything high ticket to someone or even low ticket to someone. I want to have all of that company research. So what I like to say when doing company research, you're a top 1% company research expert. Provide me everything there is to know. Give me a 1-page executive summary of the company. What are their pain points and challenges? What does this company do? What products do they sell? What's the price of the products, right? I want to know what they sell and how much do they sell it for, because is this low ticket, medium ticket, high ticket? Who do they compete with? Understanding the competitors and who they're at war with every single day is a big one. What is their company growth and financial performance? How do they win in the market? By the way, Jonathan Pogot, our fearless VP of marketing, why don't you join us, man? You could jump on here. Don't be shy. I'm gonna show you what this company research script looks like completed. So we're gonna go back into ChatGPT. So obviously Seamless provides you a lot of this data, but I always like getting additional, AI play research to just maximize my sales. So we're gonna do this. Let's do this. Doesn't matter what company. Like, let's just do this for HubSpot. Your top 1% company research expert. The company. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm gonna let the audience drop a company in the chat. What do you got, guys, for a company? Give me a company in the chat that you want me to run this prompt for. Meta. I see Ramya says Meta. Access Sciences. HubSpot, Colgate, Palm Oil. Okay. The company is Yeti. I like that. Okay. Like, shit, we'll go with Colgate Palm Oil. Let's do it. Palm Olive. Let's see how this thing plays out. There we go. While this is researching, JP, good to see you, my friend.
Great to be here. Learned a lot from you and Kyle today.
Yeah, John's our head of marketing. For everyone that doesn't know us, all the hard work, like John is obsessed with customer success and getting you all the training and education that you need to grow your business, make more sales, and win our famous President's Club Awards right over here. Look at this stuff, guys. Like when I joined IBM Interactive, I got paid $40,000 to $50,000 a year to put together pitch prep briefs. And I would have to put together 10-page pitch prep briefs like this to pitch our $1 million to $10 million digital marketing services to all of these companies. So it gives us everything with this prompt: the executive summary, the pain points and challenges, what the company does, the products and services, oral care, personal care. These are low ticket, $5, $2, $3. I wish it gave us the prices, but pretty damn good. Competitors. So now that I know the packaging and the pain points and the competitors, imagine putting together your highly personalized outbound prospecting campaigns to this company, talking about, I've got strategies to help you beat Unilever, Johnson & Johnson. I'm going to help you, maximize your revenue of your household and dental products. And you could see the market strategy, the financial growth, the SWOT analysis of like what they're doing well, what they're doing bad, what they're struggling with. This is awesome. And then I would save this in my CRM. So I'd get these prompts. You can mass research these prompts with Seamless. Someone says, could you ask the AI, give me the prices of the products? And then JP, what was crazy is all my monitors went out. So like they're now I don't know what monitor, the order of the monitors just totally changed. So I'm moving the mouse all over to try to figure out where the hell it is. But there we go. Look at this. We got pricing ready to go. That's crazy. Okay, cool. So that's my contact research and company research prompt. I've got a good cold call prompt. Write a cold call script, personalized cold call script using the framework below and I just provide an example: name, title, company. I always like to say, like, don't mention me or who I am in the first sentence, because typically when people read your messaging, your calls, your email scripts, your LinkedIn messages, they just care about what's in it for me. Everyone tuning in is listening to WIIFM radio, and that's what's in it for me. They only care about themselves. They only care about making their lives better, making more money, eliminating all their pains and problems. So this prompt for a cold call script, I really like. Compliment the prospect with a personalized compliment about their products and client results. Ask if they've got a few seconds. So this is a permission-based opener. Ask if they got a few seconds real quick to share why I'm calling, show that I did my research and understanding, ask a question. So let's run this script, this cold call script, and see how it does. Okay. Cool. You are Brandon Bornancin, top salesperson at seamless.ai. It should already know that, but just in case, let's run it. Oh, cool. So someone said, are these call scripts done using AI? And by the way, JP, when I've got the webinar chat and the video of us on this screen, do you guys see it or no? You're good. You just see the screen or do you see it?
Great. I can see
Okay,
your
cool.
screen, your tab, and you.
Sorry, I mean, do you see the chat or no?
I don't see it on your screen.
Okay, perfect. That's all I need to know. Okay, sweet. Are these call scripts done using AI voice call? No, outbound, I definitely recommend like actually doing the call yourself and making the call. But hey, John, I've been following Dialpad for a while. Have to say, your communication product is amazing. Love that you're helping clients scale faster. I love that intro. You got 22 seconds real quick. You could have them, I don't know why this wrote it out like I'm talking to someone, but I would just say, give me the call script so that I can make the call. And it gives you kind of everything you need to make the call. And you could just copy and paste it, right? So the way that I would update this, if it screws it up, just give me the call script. I'm not role playing with you. Yeah, and I love what Thomas said. 22 seconds just to get straight to the point. Yeah, because 22 seconds, Thomas says, stands out from, do you have a minute? Honestly, like for whatever reason, for me, and this is just in my experience, like anytime I share something, it's from me, my experience, what I've done. A lot of people will ask me for a minute. My wife always asks me for a minute. My team always asks me for a minute. And I'm like, dude, I'm so busy. I don't have any minutes to give. But for whatever reason, can I get just 15 seconds? Can I get just 22 seconds? Can I get just freaking 27 seconds real quick to tell you why I'm calling? That shit, I get like a 98% yes approval rate, and I'm able to go into the pitch. A lot of people debate on, do they like permission-based openers or not? I love permission-based openers because I respect the prospect. They know it's a cold call. I know it's a cold call. So by just saying like, look, you got 20 seconds real quick and I can tell you why I'm calling. Sorry, this is a cold call. Do you mind? Boom. Or, hey, man, you got 20 seconds real quick after I drop this compliment. They're pretty cool and straightforward with it, and we dive right in. So now you've got your call script here with this prompt, and you could literally use that for your full list that you built in Seamless, Google, LinkedIn, you name it, to go and make those calls and do that outreach. You're off to the races. Here's another one, guys. This is one that no one knows about. This is demo call scoring. So here's an AI play that we're actually using to score our demos. So for us to get better, all of us to get better, we need to score our demos. We need to figure out, what is the demo? How is it? What do you think of it? Did we do a good job? So what's cool is you could take your transcript of your call, provide it to GPT, and tell GPT to actually be your coach and score it. So you're a sales demo call scoring expert for Seamless, tasked with analyzing the demo call transcript provided. Score all the criteria listed below in the CVS with full details. Then I tell it, for each header, include the percent scored. Hey, I scored 80% on this. I scored 50% on this. And give me the points. So for each bullet within each section, provide a detailed analysis of that performance for the bullet. So we'll give you scored, this call demo that you did was a 90 out of 100, was 90%, 80%, 70%, 50%, you name it. And what I'd like to do is I like to score the research I did, my introduction, my sales discovery, my demo, my closing. How did I do with overcoming sales objections? Did I identify the right decision makers, decision-making process? Did I identify next steps with the prospect to get the deal done? Did I answer all the questions? And then how was my delivery, my tone, my energy, my confidence? And when you do this, you paste into GPT with your transcript, it will score everything you've got going on. And you could automate the scoring of all your demos and all your plays. Here's a good one. FYI, Chat GPT 4.0, and we use the paid. Yeah. Someone asked, what version do you use? Yeah, we use the paid team version. It's $20 a month per user. Everything that I'm demoing here is on GPT 4.0 for you guys. Oh, and then Tina says, hey, I say up front, I know I'm an interruption, so I'll be brief. I like that opener. I'm just checking the chat. Do you pay ChatGPT or you use the free version? Yeah, I would pay for it. It's so cheap. It's so powerful, guys. $10, $20. You'll make that in a day. You'll make that in a day. So here's one that John on here came up with. He's like, hey, a lot of customers, a lot of users who are new to Seamless may not know who they need to sell to. Like, let's share a prompt on who the hell we should sell to. So what we're going to do is I'm going to ask ChatGPT to come up with a company. Give me a company that has 10 to 50 employees in the manufacturing industry. I'm just going to randomly come up with a company. And actually, I'll just ask the audience. Audience, everyone tuning in the webinar, give me a company, and we're going to use this ICP persona in the chat. Drop it in the chat, and I'm going to pick a company for you that we can run this prompt for. Okay. Atrium Health System, Power, Nant Biorenewables, Styles. Okay. Let's go with Care. Atrium Health System. So we're going to I need you to analyze my company, Atrium Health System. Let's try this out. So this is the prompt that you're going to use when you don't know who to sell to. So you tell GPT, you're the expert, VP of sales. You've helped a ton of companies generate 100 million. We're launching a bunch of prospecting campaigns. I need you to tell me who are my best prospects to sell to. Tell me the titles and personas and put them in the order of most important to least important. Include up to 10. All right, so here we go. Atrium Health System, done. Let's see what that shares. So it literally gives you the decision makers, who and why, in the order of priority of you being able to close them if you were that company. So for anyone that's newer to sales or needs some new verticals, new industries, the AI play that I would use is this ideal customer persona play, ideal customer profile play. And it's going to give you every single person that you should sell to and why. So then you could build your list in Seamless of all of these titles. I'd build 100 to 1,000 people that are the Chief Innovation Officer, the VP of Revenue Cycle Management, the Director of Clinical, the VP of Operations, the CNOs at all these health systems. If I was selling for Atrium Health System, that's the ideal customer persona profile. So here's that GPT prompt. Feel free to take a screenshot of it. We'll also share it after this call. And then we've got one more. I'm going to do this one. This will be the last one that we go through. This is fun. Last AI play. I believe that it's best to bleed on the practice field than to bleed in war. And what I mean by that is, like, it is best to practice and become the best that you can be. Not in front of a prospect, not at a demo, not at the closing table of trying to close a deal. So one of the great AI plays that you can leverage is AI role playing. And you could literally ask ChatGPT, voice or audio, to role play. And I don't know if this is actually, you're going to be able to hear this audio, but let's just try it. We're going Hey,
Hey there, how's your day going?
Okay, JP, is that pretty loud?
Nope, it's not too loud. I
Okay.
can hear you just fine.
Great. You're the top 1% VP of sales, now working at a company.
Quite an impressive achievement today.
We're going to role play. Ah, damn, my internet connection went out. But what's amazing is this works incredible when you're not having any internet issues. I'm not going to give up. Give me 1 second. I'm killing my Wi-Fi. Here we go. Hi, let's role play. You're the VP of sales at Google. I am the director of sales at seamless.ai. Let's role play me prospecting you, trying to book a demo.
Sounds like a plan. Go ahead and kick things off when you're ready.
Ring, ring, ring. Hey, Sarah, happy Thursday. It's Brandon. You got 20 seconds real quick?
Hey, Brandon, happy Thursday. Sure, I've got a moment. What's up?
Hey, Sarah, look, I'm a huge fan of Google and everything that you're doing with digital media. Your ads are amazing. They perform way better than our Facebook and LinkedIn ads. And I'm calling because I saw that you were growing your sales team. And I've got a platform that will help you automate all of your list building and prospecting and hyper personalized outreach with custom emails and phone numbers to all your prospects so you can book more demos, close more sales. Uh, can we take a few minutes, maybe later this week, and I could show it to you?
Hey, Brandon, thanks for the kind words about our ads. It's always great to hear. Your platform sounds intriguing, especially with the focus on automation and personalized outreach. We're always looking for ways to enhance our sales processes. I have some availability Friday afternoon. Would that work for a quick demo?
See, it's too easy. Hey, GPT, this was really good, but I want you to be really hard prospect. I want you to give 5 sales objections. I want you to give 5 tough questions, and let's redo the role play. Also, at the end of the role play, I want you to score me based on the pitch and how I did.
Got it. Let's raise the difficulty level. Go ahead and start when you're ready.
Hey, Sarah, huge fan. You got 20 seconds real quick so I could share why I'm calling?
Hey, Brandon, I'm pretty swamped right now. Can you give me a quick rundown?
Yeah, look, I'm a customer of Google Ads, love everything you're doing. They perform way better than LinkedIn and Facebook. And that's actually why I'm calling, because I believe every marketer in the world that's spending $100 million or more should be using your Google Ads products. And I could give you their cell phones to every single one of them so that you could increase connect rates by 300% and book more appointments. So I was just calling to see if I could show you the power of this sales AI tool and help you grow your sales revenue.
Interesting approach, Brandon, but we already have some tools in place for lead generation. How is your platform different from what we're already using?
Yeah, that sounds great. You know, everyone I talk to is already using a different platform. Would you mind telling me like what you're using and some of the challenges and pain points you're faced with it?
We utilize a mix of internal tools and third-party solutions. The main challenge we face is ensuring data accuracy and integration with our CRM. How does your platform address these issues?
Yeah, I love that. That's a great question. And that's awesome that you've got the resources to build these lists and do all this prospecting internally. So the way that Seamless AI does this is we actually have built an AI research engine that will research all the emails and then validate the emails, research all the phone numbers and then validate the phone numbers. And then we'll actually use all of that data to write using AI, the email scripts, the call scripts, the social scripts, so that you've got your list, you've got your hyper personalized outreach ready to go. And then you could launch your campaigns, hopefully booking 2 to 3x the amount of demos and sales that you're generating.
I see the appeal. But we've invested heavily in our current systems. What's the cost and implementation timeline for Seamless AI? I need to justify this with my team.
Yeah, the great news is, Seamless is just like Google. You just sign up and you start searching and using it, and you get the results right away. When it comes to the cost, it could range from a few $100s a company to thousands. Just depends on the number of users, the number of credits, the number of products you need. I guarantee you, if you love the platform like I think you will to increase your ad revenue, pricing will not be an issue, and we can figure it out.
Fair enough, but I need to ensure a smooth integration with our existing systems and CRM. How does Seamless AI handle integrations? And what support do you offer during the onboarding process?
Yeah, that's awesome. Seamless was actually ranked one of the top partners of Salesforce, HubSpot, and then we've got over 1,500 different integrations with CRMs, workflow automation tools, engagement tools, Zapier, you name it. So integrating with whatever you're using won't be a problem, and we could get you kicked off. So how about we schedule a meeting later, tomorrow afternoon? How does that sound?
You've addressed my concerns well, but I still need to discuss internally. Let's tentatively schedule a meeting for Friday afternoon. If anything changes on my end, I'll let you know.
Okay, great. I'm going to send you a calendar invite for tomorrow, Friday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern. If that, make sure, I'm going to send that right now. Make sure you accept that deal. And then real quick, you had mentioned the decision-making team and process. Who over there besides yourself evaluates tools like this, and what do they typically say to them when you bring recommendation?
We have a committee that evaluates new tools, including our sales operations and IT teams. They focus on ROI, integration capabilities, and user adoption. When I present a recommendation, I provide a detailed analysis of the tool's benefits and how it addresses our current challenges. So, having some clear data points and case studies would be helpful for our discussion. Looking forward to the demo.
Okay, great. Yeah. When we do the demo tomorrow, I'll make sure to include some case studies. I'll put together an ROI model too. To do the ROI business case model, how many leads are you generating a month? Appointments are you generating a month? And sales are you generating a month?
We generate around 10,000 leads, book about 500 appointments, and close roughly 100 deals monthly. An ROI model based on these numbers would give us a good picture of potential gains with Seamless AI. Looking forward to seeing what you come up with.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you accepted the invite. And last question real quick. What are the top two things holding you back from doubling those sales results?
The main challenges are efficiently scaling our outreach without compromising personalization and improving lead conversion rates. Addressing these effectively would significantly boost our sales numbers. Looking forward to discussing this further during our demo.
Okay, great. Thank you. By the way, can I have my score now for this role play?
Absolutely. You navigated through the objections well and asked insightful questions. Here's your score. Opening, 9 out of 10. You were friendly and direct, quickly grabbing my attention. Value proposition, 8 out of 10. You clearly communicated the benefits of Seamless AI, though a bit more customization to my specific needs could have been beneficial. Handling objections, 9 out of 10. You handled objections well, providing clear and relevant responses. Qualifying questions, 9 out of 10. You asked pertinent questions to understand my situation and challenges. Closing, 8 out of 10. You effectively set up a follow-up, but adding a sense of urgency could have strengthened it. Overall, strong performance, 43 out of 50. Great job,
43
Brandon.
out of 50. I love it. So I wasn't planning on doing that live, but why not? I think the biggest thing with a role play prompt, whether you're doing it via chat or live like that on the audio, is to just make sure you explain like the level of difficulty. I always want to make sure I'm doing, for me and any of our sales reps or CS reps, up to 5 objections, up to 5 questions, and then have them randomize those so that you're always kind of being tested, being able to role play, learn where am I dropping the ball, you name it. And that's really what all the AI plays we put together for everyone. I'm gonna give you presenter view. Okay, cool. I'm gonna show you guys this last thing I got. I want to present the deck again, but I lost all the screens, JP. Okay, here we go. That's everything we kind of put together for everyone. I'm going to answer your questions, but just wanted to, say thanks again for everyone tuning into the webinar today. It's awesome to have you here. Everything we do, we live and breathe 24/7, 365 to get you into the President's Club Awards. We've got thousands of people that have won these awards. 23,000 six-figure club winners, 7,000 seven-figure club winners, 1,000 eight-figure club winners, and 11 nine-figure club winners, generating over $100 million in sales. We're one of them. What we do every single day, we want to help you get there. If there's any training, any strategies that we need to provide to you to help you get there faster, let us know. JP runs all of our marketing and our customer education team, and I'm listening to all of our customers as well every day. Let's get into the Q&A. JP, hit me with, let's start going through the questions.
All right, Q.
And by the way, everyone, thank you so much in the chat. It's been awesome having you. We're going to answer any questions. I hope there's a lot of value in that. But Robert, thank you. That was excellent. Love it. Leslie, thank you. Mark, thank you. Really appreciate all of you. Well done. As you could tell, we did not really prep this. We wanted it to be super authentic, super real. Thank you for keeping the webinar engaging and useful. That's awesome. Thank you, all of you. Really appreciate. And then go ahead with the questions.
We've got a question from Heather. Do you have a favorite play that focuses on industry? We are prospecting many small businesses in a hard to find industry, the pawn industry. They do not have a huge social media presence. So industries that don't have a huge social media presence, what do you do?
Yeah, but so I think I would need to understand finding the companies and the contacts for those industries, or just getting research on the industries in general. And I'll just try to address both. I love doing keyword research. So using the keyword search of companies and the keyword search for contacts. Did you say pawn? Like a
Yep.
pawn shop?
But I think this is relative to any hard to find industry that might not have a huge social media presence. I think it applies to a lot.
Few things. I would do keyword searching in Seamless, keyword searching on LinkedIn, keyword searching on Google. You could also do, we have a new search filter coming out where any website that has the keyword on the homepage will give you the list of all the websites, and then you prospect those companies. So imagine typing in pawn shop, pawn as keywords, or the homepage search. That will give you every single company that has that keyword on the homepage. Boom, now I've got my company list, and then I'm going to take those companies, automatically import them into the contact search of Seamless, and then search for all of the contacts at those companies and then go after it. And then for pawn shop, GPT will not give you anything that we've got, right? Any of the contact info. But if I needed research and pitch strategy on the pawn shop industry, give me a one-page pitch brief. It could give you everything you need. So that's what I would do to get my pitch prep ready to go, and then build my list with Seamless using keyword search, homepage search. Next question.
Great one here from Justin Bennett. Besides cold calling leaders, sending videos, and personalized emails, what's one thing I can do that you would like SDRs to do more of so I can earn time on the calendar for a meeting for the SDR role that's available?
To apply to Seamless?
I didn't say Seamless. I think Justin's looking to apply for a job and wants to get the attention of the hiring manager, senior leadership.
So I wrote this book, The Ultimate Guide to Breaking into Tech Sales. I would read that book and follow those plays. It just says Justin's talking about for Seamless. Justin, what I would do
Yeah.
is I would prospect all the SDRs. The fact that you're on this webinar is awesome. Send a personalized message to Jonathan Pogat. John, you could drop in your email to Justin, and we'll make sure that your info gets shared to the recruiters and the type of people that they're looking for: positive, coachable, hardworking, whatever it takes.
There you go. I'd say, Justin, just stand out, right? There's so much lazy outreach out there. I think this doesn't only apply just for getting a new job, but in sales in general. Like, go the extra mile, do what others aren't doing, and that'll put you on top of the list.
Awesome. Let's go to the next question.
All right. This is
And I see
Alex.
some questions coming in the chat. Put that in the Q&A, guys, just because we'll lose it in the chat.
Yeah. Let's see. That is a very specific question. Alec, ideas on selling our private cloud infrastructure services, beating AWS and Azure. So that sounds a little bit more like, how do you differentiate? How do you stand out? What would you do to get the attention of a highly competitive uh, potential buyer?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'd focus on the value prop, like costs. My AWS bill is through the roof. Yeah, I think it's like 7 figures. We pay a shitload of money to AWS. So I would focus on like my CFO, C-suite, head of tech, chief technology officer, chief architect officer. We're always trying to reduce costs and improve performance. So in your messaging, I would focus on that for sure.
There you go. Alec, you have a prospect now. What you do with it is up to you. Let's see. Any prompts for emails to new LinkedIn connections? Ooh, that's a good one. Get a lot of
Yeah.
bad LinkedIn outreach.
Yeah, great question. I mean, I would still kind of do the same thing that we're talking about, right? Like the prompt that I would do is, you're a top 1% sales research expert. Write a 3-sentence email, write a 3-sentence LinkedIn messages, hyper personalize with a compliment on the first line. Second line, ask about a pain point. Third line, offer an idea to solve the pain point. I would not go 4 sentences on LinkedIn. I would go, 3 sentences, hyper personalized compliment about their products, pain point, idea, and then ask for the meeting.
I think this one's going to be right up your alley. So, Brandon, if you were starting a business from scratch, no customers, where would you start and what industry would you pick?
Oh man. I mean, there's so much money in AI right now and so much power in AI. I've got a tech background, so I would do the AI deal. I would do this, like I try to find something in AI and tech is what I would do, which is kind of what I did, almost 10 years ago when I started building Seamless before AI was cool and sexy. It was like, let's build this search engine that uses AI to find every contact and company in the world and use AI to research, validate, and verify their emails and their phone numbers. And then it scaled to thousands of data points, right? So I would say I do the exact same thing I did a long time ago, except I would try to make it super niche, like AI for manufacturing, AI for something very niche that like you could go sell. Yeah, I have a friend that sold to gyms and they sold, $120 million in sales to gym owners, small gym owners. You would never think that industry has that much money. So these sub niches have a lot of money. So like AI, something for that sub niche or whatever you do, I would leverage your expertise, your skills to a very focused small group of people and then just expand from there.
Yeah. Great saying, pick a niche and get rich. One of my favorite. All right. What are your thoughts on incorporating a video of yourself
Love it.
when emailing for a pitch?
Yeah, no brainer. I mean, the video is so personalized. And it's funny because when people prospect me and I like what they have to say, I'll actually tell them, reply with give me a Loom video. So they'll be like, I want a meeting. I won't take the meeting. I'll say, give me a Loom video because I could like watch it at 2.5x speed. and I could fly through it. And then I could be like, yeah, I'm interested or not. So I love the Loom video. I would talk about the problems that you solve. I'd highlight the solution. I'd highlight the value and ROI and results. And I would get that shit out the door to as many prospects as you can. Is it time consuming? Yes. I bet you it probably converts at 2, 3, 4, 5x. An email, a call, a LinkedIn message. I think I respond to every video I get. Like whether I like the product or not, I get back to anyone that creates a video because I just respect the effort and the hustle. Lila, thank you so much. Great to have you. I agree, Phil, effort. Oh, and that was a great question. Follow up. Are you concerned about the video being blocked by firewalls? Yes and no. I mean, like you've got those tools where like it provides a link and a little image that you click on and then it goes through. I would also text that video to the prospect, like drop it on LinkedIn, drop the video on text, drop it in email. I wouldn't be too worried about it.
Yeah, host and embed that. Don't embed that video in your email, right? Make sure it's hosted on a link or something like that. Sending a big attachment as a video is highly suspicious in most organizations to begin with. So give yourself the best opportunity. Host it on YouTube, a Vimeo link, or one of the many video platforms out there. All right. And probably the final one I would say, we can keep going though. We can hit the 2-hour mark, Brandon. It's up to you.
I don't mind. Let's just fly through it.
Let's roll. Great questions here. They keep coming in. What are some of the most, it was a personal one. What are some of the most significant challenges you faced in scaling Seamless AI, and how have these experiences shaped your strategic priorities for the company moving forward?
Gosh,
A
like
good one that applies to a lot of different businesses, right?
my biggest challenges, you think?
Some challenges that we've learned along the way, super fast growing company in a short period of time.
Yeah. I would say like it goes in seasons. The biggest challenges. Like when I first started building the company, it was all about building a search engine that finds all the contacts and companies in the world is like impossible. It's hard. I kept hiring these dev teams, they would quit. I'd hire these dev teams, they would quit. I'd hire these dev teams, they would quit because it's very hard. The founders of Google, who are, one of the founders of Google and his wife are invested in Seamless. They tried to sell Google at 1 million and $10 million. And no one would buy Google. So they actually had to keep building the company, and then it skyrocketed. So at the beginning, it was very similar. It was very hard tech to build and took years to build. But then when we launched it, we were able to finally positively impact a ton of companies, a ton of salespeople, a ton of solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and marketers, you name it. And now I would say it's like scaling profitably. It's all about smart scaling. I think tech, like 21 to 23, it was like scale at all costs, spend a shitload of money. It doesn't matter the ROI, just grow at all costs. And now it's all about very smart growing and scaling. Like make sure you only hire enough people here, only hire enough people here. You have to hit a 2-to-1 ROI, 3-to-1 ROI, 4-to-1 ROI. You have to keep the cost to acquire customer down significantly. You have to generate cash flow and profit. So now that we're, surpassing 200 million in total sales, we've got 300 employees. Like, it's like, okay, how do we go from 200 million sales to 1 billion in sales and do it while maximizing returns, maximizing profits, and do it smart with good cost to acquire customers?
Yeah, Thomas has a follow-up. That could probably be its own webinar and own lunch and learn. He asked, we might want to save this content for later, but it's such a great story. How'd you raise money to start Seamless AI? Keep it going in the early days. Investors, your own money, a mix of both.
Oh my God.
I personally,
No, I mean, I took $1 million of my own cash. So I used Seamless to become a millionaire, and I took all that money and then invested it in Seamless. That bought me runway for like 2 years. Then the developers quit back-to-back years. So I ran out of money. I had a fundraise. So I went through pre-seed fund round accelerator. Like I went accelerator, and then I went into another accelerator because no one would give us funding. And then I actually just used Seamless to cold call and prospect a ton of VCs. finally broke through, raised a $2.4 million seed. And then that seed round allowed me to hire the engineers to build the platform successfully. And then that went from like, zero to millions to tens of millions of dollars in revenue. And then like the rest was history. But I would say work your referral network for intros to VCs, do cold outbound prospecting to VCs, have a great pitch deck, a great team, and read Get Backed, the book. That will teach you how to do the pitch deck. Thank you, Lava. I appreciate you.
Stay with us, Lava. I think that is the final question.
Yeah, I love it. I know that we've got a ton in here.
Gone through, tried to answer some myself. There are some that were specific to Copy AI that we can look at.
No. Okay. What ROI are you? Oh, yeah. And then just hit the dismiss. Oh, Brandon, as a CEO, what ROI are you looking for to take a meeting with an AE? God, that's so specific, Robert. I'm not looking for like a specific ROI. I think it's thank you, Amar. Really appreciate it. I'm looking like you don't need to say like, oh, I can get you a 40% return on investment, right? Like it's more about the pain point that I'm experiencing right then and there. And then how can you help me eliminate the pain point? It's all about timing in the outreach, because a lot of like ROI numbers feel like they're made up and bullshit anyways. But like for me as the CEO at Seamless, are you experiencing this problem? Here's an idea to help solve it. And then social proof. Problem, idea, social proof. So do you have this problem? I have an idea to help you solve the problem. By the way, we helped 3 other companies just like yours solve this problem and they generated X results. So that's in my messaging. You could write an AI prompt, guys, to say what I just said, right? Problem, idea, social proof with results, call to action for 4-sentence prompt to do that. So that's what I would say. Great question, Robert. That's what I would do. Yeah. Is there a way to track job changes at specific accounts? Definitely. You could track job changes at the account level. You could track job changes like at the account level is great. LinkedIn's got some great features and functionality. Seamless has got some amazing job changes, features and functionality to track it either at the account level or at the contact level. Highly recommend that, Ryan. I would do both. If I'm trying to if I'm doing enterprise sales and I need to sell to an account, I want to track any person that's changing jobs at that company. Again, this depends on the company size. The bigger it is, the more like C-suite, VP, director I would go. Smaller it is, like I want to know anyone moving in and out. And do I need to build relationships with them? So I would track all those job changes and then do that outreach across the whole buyer committee. Okay, cool, open, sweet. How do you isolate the person's prompting the buyer intent in a company? How do you know exactly who's leading this exploration? Yeah, great question. Sorry, Michael said, like for buyer intent, what if the company has thousands of employees? How do you know exactly who's leading that research and effort? Great question. This is really hard, but like, I don't think it matters who exactly is leading it. They're looking for a solution because they have a big problem with X. So like, I would just reach out to the entire buying committee. Hey, I know you like a bunch of team members at your company are researching solutions for X to solve Y. I've got some ideas and recommendations to help. Let's meet. Because like, if I'm searching for sales things to improve my sales, all of my sales leadership, my marketing leadership is involved. If my IT team is searching for something to reduce IT costs, that applies top down, CTO, CAO, CIO, director of IT, VP of IT. It goes from top down, bottoms up. It hurts everyone, those pain points. So what I would do, Ryan, is, or whoever asked that question, I would go after the entire buying committee, talking about, you see that them and their team are looking for solutions, and you hypothesize it's probably related to X or Y problem, and you could help solve that problem. Okay, cool. What is your approach to sending outbound emails to additional contributors on the podcasts? Yeah, I mean, I would just prospect anyone you want to prospect. Like, I would do probably like a 3 email, 4 call, 2 voicemail campaign to the additional contributors, Ryan, on the podcasts. And I would just run a very short, concise 7 to 10 day campaign to those people, and going after it, you know, like, I think that's an awesome question. All right, last 2. What book did you recommend for the pitch deck? Get Backed. I forget what it's called, but Get Backed. Okay, sweet. Okay. I own a recruitment agency, Abhishek. I own a recruitment agency specializing in finance and accounting. I use Seamless to build my client list, do a lot of cold email outreach. Would you suggest any other way to get a better response rate to increase my success ratio? Yeah, I mean, Abhishek, it's all about a few things, like your subject line, your hyper personalized copy, and then track your deliverability. Make sure you're not sending too much email outreach. Like, if you're doing 500 to 1,000 a day, that could hurt your email deliverability percentages. I think John tracks this stuff the most. What are some of your email deliverability? Like, people that mass blast shitloads of email get tagged by these email servers. John, can you just share like some email infrastructure tips?
Yeah, email's tough these days. You want to keep it to 50 emails sent per day per inbox. You want to make sure you have a warmed inbox. There's lots of services that can help you warm that inbox, or at least make sure that the engagement is very high in them. On top of that as well, if you're in, let's see, a recruitment agency, right? So this is just it's a sales job, right? You're selling people to work for your company or your customers' companies, and you still need to have a great value proposition. And the bar is pretty low, right? Across the board in recruiting, you've got to stand out. So find out some ways that you can stand out. Now, if you're going after execs, you're really going to have to try hard to get their attention, right? It's not just, hey, I have a job. They already have one, and they can probably already get one if they wanted one. So what are you offering that others aren't? So think about that as well. But yeah, email's tough. Keep it low and slow, and keep engagement high.
I love that. That's a great question. And then Robert, I feel like intent data is the most important piece of information for prospecting. How does Seamless provide intent data and score your intent data? Yeah, great question. So, you know, and JP, figure out how you could get the chat transcript so that we could follow up with anyone interested in buyer intent or job changes. But, you know, the way so we track buyer intent across social, digital, website interactions. And when someone is engaged and interested in searching for or posting about services that they need, products that they need, the buyer intent AI tracks it. And then they could tell the intent of the post, of the request. Like, get a pricing request. I need pricing for a list building tool. I need pricing for a new sprinkler system. I need pricing for a new roof builder. Like, that is really high intent. Those are keywords related to high intent. And then you've got medium intent, low intent. My marketing ads aren't getting clicks. Okay, that would be medium intent. They need a new digital ad agency to help them with their ad marketing, right? So the intent system uses AI to detect low, medium, high intent. It tracks all those interactions across the digital web. And then in our buyer intent tool, you've got topics. So you would pick a topic. I want to track these topics. You know, like for Seamless, we track the sales intelligence topic. Anyone that's talking about sales intelligence, looking for sales intelligence services, product solutions, We followed that topic. We get alerted of all the accounts automatically. We automatically build the account contact list for those accounts, and then we prospect and close those deals. So you would do, there's hundreds of topics related to every single industry. You just pick those and then set up the automations to automate tracking the accounts, the contacts, and then prospecting to them. I would use these prompts to hyper personalize the emails and call scripts to those people. Awesome. Michael, thank you. Says, gents, I've got to jump, but wanted to thank you for the great call. I'd like a copy of this call to send a couple on my team. No problem. Thank you, Michael. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate all of you guys. Joey says, you mentioned Loom. Check out Dub. We'll have to check that out. Thank you so much. Okay, we answered Robert's question live. Do you have a demo connector for Seamless? I don't know what that means.
Domo. Look at Zapier, and you'll be able to create a webhook or a Zapier connection depending on what you want to try to do. But Domo is a data visualization platform.
Awesome. Sonda mentions needs more help with buyer intent. No problem. We'll make sure that someone helps you out to put together the right buyer intent outreach strategy. Okay, cool. And then last one, because I've got a 2 o'clock and we've been on here for 2 hours. I use Seamless and HubSpot, thinking about reaching out to 300 to 500 people a day. Which tools would I need to be effective? I'm going to let Jonathan answer this last one.
There we go. Yeah, I'm starting to see a lot of questions around email. We should do an email webinar. We'll do a marketing webinar. Somebody just emailed me as well for a marketing webinar, but I'm using Seamless and HubSpot, thinking about emailing 300 to 500 a day, which tools do I need to be effective? So this is not just only going to be about the tool. It's going to be about your preparation. It's the thing with that email is that it's very easy to send an email. It's not easy to get into the inbox, and it's not easy to maintain deliverability. It is very easy to get blocked. And the chances are of you getting blocked are going to be very high if you don't have a warmed up email. So here's what I would suggest if I were you off the bat. Sign up for MailReach, get yourself some inboxes, take around 2 weeks or so to warm up those inboxes. MailReach will show you how to do it so you're not sending from a frozen cold domain. And then look at providers out there that specialize in cold email, like Smart Lead, for example, is a great one to look at. There's tools like Woodpecker. There are many others. I would not do that type of volume out of HubSpot. They don't like when you do that.
Well, everyone, thank you, JP. Great answer. Thank you for everyone attending. We're going to wrap it up. I hope you really enjoyed this session. AI plays to find and close more deals. It's been an honor. We're grateful to have you all. We're doing whatever it takes to help you increase your leads, demos, appointments, sales, revenue, win our famous President's Club awards. When you do hit 100K, a million, 10 million, or 100 million in sales with Seamless, apply for President's Club awards. We want you to join the 23,000 who have won the 6-figure club award, the 7,000 who have won the 7-figure club award, the 1,000 who have won the 8-figure club award, and the 12 who have won the 9-figure club award winners. So thank you. Congrats. Appreciate you all. And drop what you thought on LinkedIn. I'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you think on LinkedIn. This has been a pleasure. We'll make sure to get you the replay. And if you love Seamless, it really helps us out. Talk about, how Seamless is helping you out. Drop a quick success story, testimonial on LinkedIn. The more people that see your success begets success. So when you see people having success with the tool, it helps other people have success with the tool. So that'd mean the world to us. Thank you for helping spread the word. And we look forward to doing more of these webinars to help you maximize your success. Thank you so much and have a great day.